So this video is for those of you that are running a Yukon Duragrip, which is a limited slip. But if you run big tires like this, it's actually more like an unlimited slip. The thing really doesn't bite as good as it should. So I emailed Yukon. I said, is there like an extra shim I can stack in here or something to make this thing bite better? And they said, oh, well, we've got this spring kit. This is an 800-pound spring for the Yukon Duragrip. This should double the amount of bite that it has, in theory. So we're gonna take my Duragrip out, put this in it, and see how it does. So first we're gonna install this, then we're gonna take it out on the trail and test it out. Now my Jeep's running a 1978 Ford high pinion Dana 44. This is not a stock YJ axle by any means, but this part of it, the Duragrip, the guts are pretty much the same. Oh, am I doing it right? I've already got this torn down. If you want to see this, I'm doing another video. I replaced the ball joints and all this other jazz. So what we've got to do now is mark our caps so that we know to where to put them back, and we'll pop this out. It looks like we're gonna have to pop the ring gear off to get the spring out. Actually, in this case, they're already marked for us. We've got vertical X, and sideways X. Be interesting to see how much preload's on here. I've never taken this out since I got this axle. Sometimes they just fall out of there, and sometimes you have to fight them out. This sucker's in there. Ooh, well, it popped halfway out anyway. I've never had one of these stick in there this bad after you pop it free.
You are tight like a tiger. Later.
Alright, let's take this to the vise. Can't tell I've been thrashing. My shop's a bit of a disaster. We gotta get this ring gear off first. So I'm gonna leave 2 of these and see what I can't do to push this ring gear off. Looks like she's coming loose. This gear oil smells so bad. Normally I don't mind gear oil. I work on gears all the time, but this gear oil smells like it's got dog shit in it. I think it's that limited slip additive. Here, smell it. And there she goes. That out of the way. So Yukon does have a video on fully rebuilding this. In that video it shows you how to get this spring in and out. You start by finding the little 12 point whatever the hell size that is that retains your cross pin. You get that out, and then you use the cross pin to drive the spring out. When it goes out, it's gonna fly apart into a million pieces. Double up our rag here, make some soft jaws because we're poor and we don't have brass around here. This is a 5/16 12 point. Unfortunately, all my 12 points are at work, so I've got the wrench and I'm gonna see if I can, get it out anyway. One little quarter turn at a time. Sometimes you just gotta make do with what you got.
A few minutes later.
Ha! Finally. Now we should be able to drive this out. I guess we're not driving nothing. We're just pulling. There's a small side and a big side on the new spring as such. So we're going to be using this as a punch to drive it out this way. It's under some tension, so, and these all nothing holds them together. You can see that spring just fell out of there, so it's all just going to go scattering. In their video, they literally just draped a rag over it to try to catch it, but I kind of want to just see what happens if we just let her rip. So put your safety glasses on. I'm on this side, I don't have to. Here we go. Woo-hoo! Hey, I see where they all went too. 4 springs, 2 plates. We saved it. By the way, the part number on this 800-pound spring, they sell these for like $140. I went on Amazon and it was $103. I don't know why, but a little trade secret for you. Yukon sells their shit cheaper on Amazon. Same with my hardcore hubs that I bought. They were way cheaper on Amazon. Don't know why, but there you go. 2 plates, 4 springs. Really nothing to it. And making sure they're fully seated all the way around. It's pretty easy for one to pop out. We gotta see if we can squeeze this closed enough to get it started in there. They used a big old set of channel locks in their video, so we'll see if we can make that work. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Wish I had some larger jaws that would reach all the way across. Hey, look at that. I forgot I had these bigger ones in my Jeep box. My little tools that I bring on the trail. How about that? Uh-oh. That can't be good. I think it's started, but I don't want to let go and I need that spring back, so I gotta see if I can get her in a little farther. It wedged me. Don't die! I gotta get my spring. That's all we can do is see what the whack will do. Come on, don't come apart on me. Still got a little ways to go. You can kind of see it has a place for the pin to go through, and I actually just went a hair too far. You got to look down through the cross pin hole, and she's lined up right there. Oh God, which side's which? They're both got a hole. So I gotta turn this. It should go. Shit. Let's see if we can't put her in from this way. Oh yeah, that's way better. So now we're going to reinstall this. We just got to make sure that this is indexed properly. Oops, went too far. And there it went. So now I just got to get it started with this stupid little wrench again. It pays to have 12 points. Look at that, getting it started with just the tip of my finger. I forgot to red Loctite this. Yukon says to put red Loctite on this cross pin retaining bolt. I got a little bit to come out, and a little bit's all you really need of this stuff. See you in an hour when I get this tightened. I do not know what the torque spec is on this, and it wouldn't matter if I did because I don't have a socket. Just know that if this comes loose, it equals catastrophic failure of your entire front differential. So we're going to go with good and tight. You know, you saw how small the bolt was, so if you turn wrenches at all, if you're even doing a project like this, you know how tight to tighten it. You know where to stop. And I'm stopping right there. That was the equivalent of about, I don't know, 2 to 3 UGGs and maybe 1 Dugga. So let me slam this ring gear back on there and we'll throw her back in. What I actually need to do is clean out the holes on this ring gear, because what you don't want to do is you've got all this gear oil on here now, and you don't want any of these bolts to hydrolock, because then if you have liquid down in there, you can't tighten them all the way, and it's bad news. Watch your eyes. If you've never put a ring gear back on, sometimes they just plop right on. Other times you gotta heat them up or put the carrier in the freezer. What you don't want to do is try to pull it on with the bolts. but I do like to use bolts to align it for at least the first two. It's probably a good idea to clean these off too and then give them some fresh Loctite. Looks pretty good. A dab will do you on these two because just like I said with the gear oil, you don't want it to go down in the hole and hydrolock it. Ooh. Yeah, don't spray brake cleaner in your open wounds. That didn't feel very good. Let's get one over here started. Let's see about getting all these lined up and see what we can do to push this ring gear on without stretching these bolts. Now, some people will also frown about even reusing gear bolts. I really don't give a damn. It's a trail rig. Maybe they're stretch bolts, maybe they're not. Whatever. Yeah, I can just kind of squeeze this up, run these down, and it's gonna be just fine. Oh damn, we're almost there. Got the gap most of the way closed. I'm just gonna very lightly pull on some of these and see what happens. If they get any kind of resistance, I'm stopping like that one just did. That one's pulling this side right on up, easy as pie. I'll come over here. That one's pulling this side up. Now you see how much I just gained without harming or stretching anything. So there is a way to do it. Just everybody says, oh, you don't use the bolts to pull it on. It just depends on how tight it is. If it's a really tight one, what I just did won't work. Also, I do not have this squeezed in here. It's literally just sitting on here, so I have to be careful not to knock it off of here. Ooh, I hope it fits in there. That's as wide as she goes. Son of a biscuit. I'm gonna see if my other vise opens any wider. If you have the 3/8 bolts like these older Dana 44s have, that it's 50 to 55 foot-pounds, and that's with red Loctite, which we've already applied. We're just gonna do a jump around crisscross applesauce pattern here.
So if you're wondering where I came up with that torque spec, I like to get all my manuals from emanualonline.com. They have comprehensive factory manuals for pretty much any vehicle, and on a Jeep like this, when I have parts from so many different vehicles, in this case I chose the 78 and 79 Ford truck manual and found everything that I needed. If you want to check them out, click the link in the description below.
Alright, that's all of them. Getting this in is going to probably be a mother just because of how tight it was coming out. Oh, we're good now. Got that put back in against my better judgment. I'll slam this back together, and then as soon as I go wheeling, we'll have to test and see if that little spring upgrade worked. The old shop supervisor making sure that I'm putting it together right. Okay, so I'm out here to try to test this thing. I don't have anywhere to go wheeling around here, but this is kind of a in-laws farm property. Let's go down here and see if we can find something to get into. That looks promising. So this first spot looks a little too easy, but keep in mind what I'm trying to do is actually trying to get myself stuck, so I'm not going to use the rear locker or anything. I want to get it just temporarily stuck so I can get a camera on the front wheels and see how they're acting.
I apologize for all the squeaking. The heim joints on my steering got seized up, and so far the silicone has not shut them up yet.
Well, that one was too easy. Let's try this next spot. This one's a little deeper, and then it's got like a little root over there to try to get up. Oh, this is steeper than I thought.
I gotta get the other camera.
I purposely took a bad line to try to get stuck and my front wheels were spinning, so let's see how it does. Got that tire in there pretty good.
If you're wondering why this is bouncing around so much, it has to do with the anti-wrap traction bar I have on my Jeep. I'm not sure if I don't have it set up right or whatever, but whenever I break traction, it just makes the back of the Jeep hop up and down. So now pay attention to the driver's tire. When it starts to slip, I'm looking out the window and I start feathering the brakes and then it starts spinning again, which is exactly how this is supposed to work. Now it's time to quit messing around and let's actually get out of this hole.
Yeah, that actually turned out pretty good. I think I saw what I needed to see, but since I'm here, you think I'm going home yet? I'm gonna hit this a couple more times and see what other little lines I can find down here. I could feel both tires spinning instead of just one. Now there was a time or two where I saw my driver's tire stop and I just did I feathered the brake a little bit and it started spinning again right away, which is how it's supposed to work, but it's how it never really wanted to work when I had just the 400-pound spring in there, and now it seems like it's working a lot better, but obviously I'm not gonna let one climb determine that, so. Well, I managed to get myself buried and get in another pickle here, so I'm gonna go move the camera just so we can check this out. And every time I try to go up, it's like throwing me that way. So it should be a good spot to test it out. Get through here without sinking in the mud. Oh no. Oh, that was freaking fun. See how far that thing slid me over? Here's another pretty kicking spot. This is pretty steep uphill with a nice little ledge up here at the top. It's really kind of weird. Nice ledge right there in a creek. Let's give it a shot. I think I'm getting up this one. Yeah, that one's a little bit nastier than it looks. It was not letting me even get, I mean, you can see that's as far as I got with my tire. Don't worry though, we'll get it next time. Kind of funny, I came back up this one a second time just now. I started hearing this. I'm like, oh no, something's wrong. So I got out to look. Basically just wrapped the tree around my drive shaft. It was just spinning around. Lucky me, I guess. So we just came out here to this farm to test out that 800-pound spring, and you can see it is working pretty good now. Before, I think this tire combination, 154 pounds a piece, I think it was just overpowering it, and now it really felt like they were biting. They occasionally slip. That's how they're supposed to work. It feels a lot more like how it's supposed to work now than it did before. For that, I'm super happy. It's still not as good as a locker, but it's better than it was, and that's good enough for me till I get the Dana 60 in there. So anyway, I hope this guy's helped you out. Thanks for tuning in. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. What in the hell do we got going on here? A goat convention? Come on now. What, you want to do some four-wheeling or something? Let's go, bud. Hop in. It's biting. It's I can't talk.